Hey guys, Troy Francis coming at you from the beach at San Juan in Puerto Rico. The number one thing that you need to know as a man, that you need to understand as a man, is that no one gives a damn about you, okay? And no one gives a damn about you. And you can look at that basically in two ways. You can either just get incredibly depressed about it and angry about the world and complaining and whining and moaning about it, or you can recognize, do you know what, actually it's not really that bad a thing, okay? And here's why. Okay, nobody gives a damn about you. We know this stuff. If you followed men's self-development content on the internet for a while, you'll be familiar with these concepts, but it's worth repeating anyway, right? You are born as a guy, really with no inherent value whatsoever, unless maybe you're Brooklyn Beckham, you're a celebrity of some kind, okay, and you've already got a certain degree of cachet associated with your name, all right? But for the most part, as a guy, you are born with zero value, and nobody really gives a damn about you. Now, a woman, in contrast to that, when she is young, she has a lot of value. When she is, say, age 23, 24, 25, she is at the peak of her fertility, she's at the peak of her beauty, and she has a lot of value, okay? You know, you can be a very beautiful young woman, you could get taken on a yacht to Monaco, or to Dubai, or to Saudi Arabia, or whatever it is, and you could be living the absolute highlight, okay, as a woman, without really having done anything other than shown up and being pretty, okay? Guys don't get that same privilege, all right? And this has been said before, but the guy who bought the yacht, right, the guy who owns the yacht, he had to work for that, all right? He had to spend many, many hours working for that. He had to put himself on the line. He probably had to take some financial risk. He had to do a lot of difficult things in order to obtain that yacht. The girl, the pretty girl who's sitting on that yacht, okay, she didn't really have to do anything other than be born, stay relatively in shape, okay, fair enough, you know, stay relatively in shape, and be charming and pretty, and that's about it, okay. So women have this huge inherent value attached to them, particularly when they're young, okay. And, you know, when I say young, I mean, that actually goes on for many, many years, because as much as guys will talk about, well, it's all over for women when they're 30, it's not really true. Women who are a lot older than that still have this kind of inherent privilege, this inherent value that is attributed to them by men, because men, you know, are quite thirsty and they want female companionship, and so women get a relatively easy ride. Now, that's not to say, and I do want to make this point very clearly, because there's a lot of misogyny around this topic area, and look, women have a difficult time as well for different reasons, all right? You know, women are looking for something different for the most part in the dating marketplace, in the relationship marketplace, and that brings with it its own challenges. And women do have a lot of things that they have to deal with that are difficult in their lives as well. So we shouldn't by any means undermine that. But look, given that this video is largely aimed at guys, from the guy's perspective, you don't have any value, okay? At all, really, when you're a young man, unless you were born incredibly rich, or you are, you know, the son of a celebrity, or you're a member of the royal family, or something like that. And even then, read Spare by Prince Harry, you know, when you're the second in line to the throne, nobody gives a damn about you then either. So yeah, for the most part, you don't have any value, okay? And even if you do have value, because I know there'll be people who are griping about this, even if you do have value because you're a Chad, you're incredibly good looking, you're 7'5" like me, you know, you've got that chiseled jawline and all the rest of it. Even those guys, yes, they have some value because of the genetic lottery has favored them, but they still don't have the same degree of value as the attractive 23-year-old woman, okay? So you're not, for the most part, going to have value, and even if you do have value, it's still going to be less than the women around you, okay? Why is that not a bad thing? Well, it's not a bad thing because what it means is, right, you have to go out and build your own value, okay? You have to go out there and create money for yourself. You have to work on yourself. You have to exercise. You have to get in shape. You have to dress well. You have to forge a persona that is powerful and beguiling and draws people in. And the great thing, the amazing thing about life as a man is that all of that is to play for. You can do all of that stuff, okay? It's within your purview to create an archetype for yourself that is interesting enough to enough people out there that you have the kind of life that you want. You have the kind of romantic life that you want. The kind of romantic partners that you want are drawn into your life, okay? You have the kind of career that you want. You're able to travel and do cool things and go to cool places, okay? All of this is within your purview. You could do all of this stuff, okay? Because we get to decide. Everyone gets the same 24 hours. We get to decide how we spend that 24 hours, okay? You get up at 6 a.m., you work on your business, you do some meditation, you do some affirmations, you do some visualizations, okay? You go out and that day you speak to 10 women that you didn't know before, okay? You go to the gym for an hour, you work on, you know, a different body part every day, you're really building yourself up, okay? Maybe you do some cardio, you do some spiritual stuff, you know, to align yourself with the universe. We get to decide all of this stuff, okay? You go to a tailor, you spend some time looking at mood boards so you can figure out the kind of look you want to create. You go to a tailor and you get some clothes made up to make yourself look like super cool, super boss. All of this stuff you can do, okay? You get to create yourself as an archetype, as your own archetype, all right? And this is something I'm really passionate about because when I think about my life, you know, here I am now, I'm working, but I'm on this beach in Puerto Rico. Such a beautiful place. Definitely coming back here for sure. And how did that happen? Well, it happened because one creates one's own reality, okay? Now, I'm not saying that women can't do this. Of course women can do this, but women are probably, for one thing, women are often, not always, but often, by nature of their beauty and the opportunities that are afforded them naturally because they have that value inherently already, women are often less motivated to forge their own life. Now, not always. As I say, I've met some incredibly cool women who've got their own thing going on. You know, they've made their own money. They're doing some really, really cool stuff with their lives, and that's great, okay? But often, women can kind of coast in terms of creating this persona for them. And another thing as well, and without getting into the whole, you know, patriarchy debate or anything like that, but women can often be sort of somewhat unfairly probably pigeonholed because of their physical beauty. You know, it's like, yeah, she's a hot girl, but she's just a hot girl. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're not really allowed to or, I mean, they can, of course, but it's harder for them, I think, sometimes to sort of jump outside that pigeonhole. Whereas for a guy, it's like you get to create your own thing, all right? You don't have to, you know, you don't have to sort of sit in the box that society has dictated for you in the same way, okay? So I think being a guy and actually having what seems like the disadvantage up front of not having so much inherent value just given to you is actually an advantage. It's actually a great thing because the world is a very big and very exciting place, and there's a lot of different things that you can do. There's a lot of different realities that you can explore and you can create for yourself, okay? And really, you just need to get off your butt and stop complaining and start working on this stuff because you can have an amazing existence. I still say, in spite of the difficulties in the dating marketplace, in spite of the challenges that we face in 2023 and beyond, you know, dealing with dating, dealing with the, you know, the expectations upon us and so on and so forth, in spite of all of that stuff, I believe you can still have an amazing life. I mean, look, we can travel now in a way that we never used to be able to. We've got all of these dating apps, so we can create new contacts with people all over the world. We've got connectivity in a way that we never used to have with things like WhatsApp and Telegram and these different apps. There are so many things that we can do now that we never used to be able to do before. You can live like a king in 2023 in a way that was just never possible, even really a decade ago, and certainly not before that. So there's a lot to be grateful for here, but you have to just, radical responsibility, I think, is so important. Ultimately, you have to just take that responsibility for yourself. It's like, look, whatever happens, I am responsible, okay? Anything that happens, I am responsible. I don't blame anybody else, okay? I take it all on the chin, I take it all on my own part, and I do my best to improve my situation day by day, okay? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this one. If you want to talk to me about your dating situation or anything else really, jump on a free call with me. You can email me, troy@realtroyfrancis.com, or book a call on the Calendly link below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Give me a like, give me a comment beneath, and also as well, support the channel on Patreon. You can go on to Patreon, it's only $5 a month. You get to ask me questions for these videos. There'll be some additional content posted there as well. So, with all of that in mind, from Puerto Rico, from San Juan, see you guys again very soon. Bye-bye.